Hello and welcome to my shop. It's been a little bit more than a year ago that we did a shop tour. I'd like to show you what the shop looks like today, see what has changed since last time. So if you saw the other one, the previous one last year, you'll see the differences. And if you're new to this channel, welcome, and let's do a shop tour and see what kind of machinery I have. So let's go for it. So the shop is a 50 by 50 overall, but it's really 30 from here to here. There's another 20 feet there for a carport. So it's 30 feet and it goes 50 feet deep. So overall my workshop is 30 by 50. And I keep my mower and trailer, and you see a barbecue and a big mess, but overall we're gonna go in there. So let's get in. So as you come in, you see directly a 20-ton press from Harbor Freight. And is what I use when I need to extract bearings and stuff like that, or put new ones in. On the floor here you have all my towing stuff. There's the winch, also from Harbor Freight. All my straps and stuff. I need to weld this to my trailer so I can actually use that winch and take it off if I need to change it from one trailer to another one. So I need to weld that so I can use this mechanical toolbox. And if I go around here, I see the fridge, which is usually full of water. Let's see what's inside. It is full of water because in Georgia we need to stay hydrated. And then to its left directly you have my rotary 3-phase converter, 20 horsepower American rotary, which is working like a charm. All my electrical panels, 3-phase to the left and single phase to the right. Okay. If I go back to the beginning here, straight across here you see the jointer. It's a 12-inch jointer. That's a Northfield 12L, 3-phase, 3 horsepower I believe. To its right we have a Powermatic model 221 20-inch planer, 7.5 horsepower, 3-phase also. With usually connected is my dust collection system, which is here. It is a modified version of a 2 horsepower Harbor Freight. I added Cyclone from Oneida and a HEPA filter from Wayne Environmental. We'll come back to this, but I try to get a small portable AC unit, but this thing is way too small, it doesn't do anything. So let's go back. At the door again, here there's a generator I bought from a fire station at an auction. It is just in case where we lose power because of hurricanes or something. So I bought this mainly for the house, but I can also use it for the shop. As you can see, there is a pile of exotic wood on top of it. That's because I'm working on the project. You'll see in a later video. To the right here, this is something you haven't seen last year. It's something new. This is a drum sander. It is a PowerMax Supermax 37X2, which means it's got 2 drums, 37 inches wide. And this thing is new from last year. It works great. I love it. It is also, I believe, a 7.5 horsepower. This one is single phase though, and it works on 230 volt. So if I keep going around the planer here and the generator. The next machine, and as you can see, everything is on a pallet or on wheels so I can move it. We have a new combination disc and belt sander. This is also a Powermatic model 30B, which I bought not too long ago. It works great. It's missing a couple pieces, but it works good. It does the job. If I go around directly here on the opposite side, I have a shaper and a feeder. So the shaper is a Ritter R10, 5 horsepower, 3-phase, and the feeder is a Delta, which I had to replace all the wheels, which were kind of hard to find, but it's working now. All I need is cutters, which I don't have. I don't have any cutters, so I've never used this thing for real. So if I go back over here, and as you can see here, I have a big garage door, so I can move all my stuff. I can put my truck in if I want to. I've only put my truck in here once, but I can do it if need be. This one is also a machine you barely saw last time because I just got it along with the shaper here. This is a radial arm saw, DeWalt Model GA, single phase 230 volt, restored from scratch. That was in pretty bad shape, and I have videos on this if you'd like to see the restoration. Electrical, cleaning, motor, bearings, table, everything. I love this thing for cutting dados. Directly on the left here is just a cart and my material handling Genie 24. So this thing goes up 24 feet in the air if need be. I've used it multiple times. It's a workhorse. And as I told you, we're in Georgia, so I got a 36-inch fan here, which I can move because it's on wheels. If we go to the corner, I have my sharpening station. It's a Tormek. Just above that, I have all the finishes I use. I listen to music when I work, so I got a Bluetooth speaker. This is something you've never seen. It's for band saws. It is a welder for band saws. If you break, you can weld your blade back. Next to it, you have a Bosch roller table, which is empty now, but I put my big 2.25 horsepower Bosch roller in there, and then we'll go there in a second. Something that has changed from last time is behind here, there used to be a cabinet full of hardware. I moved this thing in another video you saw last year. So I'll show you where it's at now. Let me go back. It's a bit tight to get in here. As you can see here, I have a miter saw. That's a Delta DWS779 double compound miter saw. Really like it. Works really good. To the right on the bench here, you have an oscillating belt sander. This one's a rigid, which you can see everywhere. Works great. Couple tools here, and as you can see, I'm working on the Bosch platform. If you move here, you see cabinets for sending stuff, sending discs, sending belts, so on and so forth. Just below it, there is a Powermatic belt sander. That's a Powermatic Model 13. That's 4" by 86 belt. With the belts next to it, tape, batteries. Next to it, I have my trash can, or one of the trash cans, and Oliver wood lathe, 230 volt, single phase. Next to it, I have my toolbox where I keep all my tools. You see impact, driver, drill, pieces of wood for same project. If I turn around, you have my workbench, and I bought a bunch of woodpecker tools. I was surprised to find a very good sale next to me at my wood shop, and we had very good deals on those, so I grabbed those before anybody else could. Then here you have my big sliding table saw. It's a Felder K6 3-phase. I believe this one is a 5 horsepower. I built a tray to host all my crap here, which I never know where to put. So this thing slides way back and way over there. Everything clears though with a bench and the grinder, which we'll see in a minute. Here's the lathe again. Directly next to it is another tool. It's a bandsaw 14-inch Powermatic, single phase also. And then next to it you have a Rockwell scroll saw, single phase also. Next to it, and excuse the mess here with a pile of wood from a previous project, but there's a stack of wood. It has black walnut on the top, mahogany in the middle, leftover mahogany, and red cedar at the bottom. Here you have a compressor. I'll come back to the rest of it. Scrap wood, welding equipment, which I bought at an auction. The cabinet I talked to you about, and sorry it's messy, but the cabinet that was at the other side on the other side of the shop is now here, and I still have lots of sheet goods here. And welding equipment, there's one thing I forgot to show you, which is hidden behind here. It is a welder. It's a Miller 3-phase, and this thing is capable of doing any type of welding, MIG, TIG, stick, you name it. And to do that, I have here the wire feeders. You see this one is also a Miller. It's a dual wire feeder. And in the back here you have a bunch of cables and a power stabilizer for the welder. If we go straight back, I have filing cabinets, which I use to store things. So this one is a very good store. I bought cabinets at an auction, and it was like 24. So I gave away some, I donated some, I sold some, and I kept some for the shop. And I painted them blue so we can match my toolbox here. And I think it looks pretty good. Let's go back here. So that's in the very back here of my scrap wood. So if I turn around again, here you find a vertical belt sander. This one is a Porter Cable G8 6-foot belt. 6-foot sander. When you start this thing, it shakes the concrete floor. It works great. Next to it, you have a Cincinnati grinder. This is 14-inch wheels. This one takes forever to stop when it's at speed. Right here you have my assembly table, and right now it's got a project which I have done in the past. This is my coffee table, which I am redoing because my dog chewed it, and this is the first project I did with my dad, so I waited for my dad to come here so we can work on it together. We didn't have time to finish it, so that's what I'm gonna do next. Another cabinet in planes, and next to it you have a hollow chisel mortiser. This is also a 2 horsepower 3-phase mortiser. This thing works great too. Here you have all my clamps, pipe clamps, parallel jaw clamps, F-type clamps, bits for the drill press, and you have a drill press here, which is a 15-inch Powermatic drill press, and a big can. If I keep going to the right, let me turn on the light for you. File cabinets where I store a bunch of stuff. This is a mess, but this is a bench I will restore shortly. Here is a paper dispenser we saw in another video. Work light. I got persimmon wood in there. Pile of junk. And shelves where I keep all my templates, tools, non-finished projects, and so on and so forth. And you can see here levels, tracks, straight edge. So that's the back, the very back of the shop. If I keep going here, normally I have a shop vac here which is attached to that bin here, into that cyclone. It's not here today because I'm using it in the house. But next to it there is a big bandsaw, 20-inch bandsaw, 3-phase. If I go back on the other side, so you have still the Felder K6 with sliding table saw, small cabinets painted blue also to host all the table saw stuff. Let me go back to the drill press for a second so you can see the setup right now. Next to it and cutty corner from the big table saw, you have a smaller one, which is new. You haven't seen this one previously in the last one. So this one is a Delta Unisaw with a 52-inch Bismeyer fence system, and I put it catty corner to the big one. For now, I didn't really know where to put it, but I think it's working really good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build an outfit table here, which will join this and this. That should work fine. And both of them are on pallets, so I can move them if need be. You have a sled here. If I go back, you see the desk collection system again. The back of the planer, the jointer, the workbench with a Wilson vise, which was at a different place last time, but it's not bolted on, so I can move it anywhere. I still need to find the best place for it. I forgot this, the fire extinguisher. If I go back, Well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this shop tour with me. You see all the stationary equipment I have in my 30 by 50 shop, so I know it's a big one. Most people don't have the luxury to have this. I'm very fortunate, and I know it. Most of the equipment you have seen today has been bought at auctions for, to be honest, a ridiculous price. I'm very fortunate for this. And I have pretty much I can dream of to do some woodworking, and I'm glad that you guys are following this with me, see what my story is and what I'm building. So thank you very much again for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.